my name is Brianna Sinclair, and this is my 29th week on HRT. On my channel, I post mostly transgender content regarding my transition and how it is going. And if you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any questions or if you'd like to have a discussion, please comment below. I would love to answer your questions and hopefully clear any misunderstandings up. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. As I said before, this is my 29th week, and my measurements update is as follows. My hips are at 34.5, my bust is at 35.5, and my waist is at 25 even. Sorry, Fendi's here, and he's decided to join us today. So I think it is safe to say that my waist training is working. I have gotten a lot more aggressive with it, because to kind of like exacerbate my results, my waist trainer is kind of built more for my wife instead of me, and she's taller than me, and with that she's also wider than me, because she's built with similar proportions. And she told me I could use her waist trainer, and that's what I use. I just put it on the tightest setting. Which works. And with that, it is allowing my waist to form into like a nice little hourglass shape. And since my bust measurement is a consistent 35.5, that does prove my bust is still growing. My emotional state is pretty stable, I would say. I am very much in control of my emotions, for the most part. And I'll explain later kind of like how my week went, because I did have a wonderful week and a very special event that I wore this outfit for, and it is kind of why I have chosen this outfit to wear. And that's kind of what I'd like to explain. My hair reduction and growth, I haven't really noticed any change between last week and this week, so I think the hair reduction portion of my journey, I guess, has kind of come to a standstill, which is perfectly fine. It was a lot more than what I was expecting anyway. I honestly really didn't expect any reduction at all, because I was just really hairy all the time. So the fact that it slowed down even a little bit was a relief. My breast growth, they are still growing. They do still hurt. I don't know when they stop hurting, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of going with everything and just experiencing everything as it goes. But yeah, the fact that they are growing is very affirming to me. Kind of looking in the mirror and seeing them there with me, like before I get in the shower or whenever I get out, kind of makes me think like, a year ago I didn't have this. A year ago I had no breasts. And now, 7 months later, here I am, I have breasts. And it's a wonderful feeling. My fat redistribution, I haven't really noticed a whole lot. I did think that like my hips were growing just a little bit, because my measurements did jump up like 1/4 of an inch, but I don't know if that's fat redistribution or if that's a little bit of muscle. we'll see. I have been eating a lot more and trying to add to my diet in order to facilitate my body storing fat where it makes me more feminine and fills me out a little bit more. My sex drive. My sex drive is very much the same. Like, I feel like I'm in a lot more control over my sex drive, physically. And I say physically, as in like, I can still perform the same way. I am sterile, but, so I can't get anyone pregnant, if I wanted to. But, I could still perform the exact same amount of times, I guess, or to the exact same magnitude. And with that, kind of just makes me think that, like, my sex drive isn't physically based anymore. It is very much emotionally sound, because sex to me is a very special feeling with someone that you want to be with, and with that comes a lot of a large emotional connection. The connection makes it very much a wonderful feeling, at least for me. Sorry. It was a little warm for my jacket, so I decided to shed it just a little bit. Yeah, sex is a very important thing for me. At least, I just can't have it with anyone. I have to have a strong emotional connection with that person. And before my transition, like, I would want that emotional connection, but I could do it without. I'm honestly not sure I can perform without having that emotional connection, because it is so strong for me. Me being tired, I've completely cut out like all caffeine at this point, and I'm back to normal. And I'm mostly cutting out caffeine, one, because I don't like spending the money on it, like energy drinks and stuff. They taste great and they're delicious, but it's not good for my voice feminization, and it's not good for, like, my overall health. And so I've cut out all energy drinks, but whenever I up my medication, I do dip back, just so I can continue throughout the day to do what I would normally do, and then wean myself back off. But as of right now, I feel perfectly fine. I'm a little tired, but not overly, like I would be. I'm going to probably get back on them again, get back on, like, essentially drinking energy drinks again, because they did up my medication, which is pretty good. And as discussed in my previous video, my testosterone levels dropped, and so did my estrogen. So they upped everything to keep my testosterone low and to keep my estrogen high, to the point where my body can convert the estrogen into testosterone. Because the reason my estrogen dropped was because my testosterone is no longer being converted to estrogen, which is pretty good. So I'm slowly but surely getting to the levels that a natal female would be at. My muscle development, I am still pretty toned, kind of, and I'm definitely losing muscle, which does suck. It's not my favorite thing, but usually I would do like really dainty projects anyway. I would take like small files and little chisels and stuff like that and do like a small like woodworking and breaking supports and like 3D projects and stuff and smoothing things out with like sandpaper. I wasn't like lifting like the transmission in a car or anything like that. I feel like now if I tried to do that, I would get crushed. But that is mostly it. This past week, I did take a trip down to Orlando. Me and my wife went down, and it was a wonderful week. We celebrated our 5th wedding anniversary. I got to see her perform again, and I got to meet some really big names. I got to meet Adore Delano, the RuPaul's Drag Race queen, and I got to meet Sassy Divine. She is the current reigning Miss Glamorous, and it was a pretty good time. After the performance in Orlando, we went down to Texas to essentially be at my father-in-law's Christmas party, which was wonderful. It was a good time. I had a wonderful time. My wife didn't have as good of a time because she spent most of it sick, but throughout the party, I would check on her every 15 to 30 minutes, making sure she was good. I would bring her food and stuff like that because I wanted her to be okay, and she wanted me to enjoy the party, and I was more focused on her. But it was a good time. There was karaoke, there was dancing, there was a belly dancer. We drank a lot, which I know is not good for my voice feminization, but we did drink pretty heavily. Some of us. I didn't, but a lot of us did. The belly dancer was pretty cool. I had a very euphoric moment with a guy I know. I've only met him twice, this being the second time. He asked me to dance, and so I danced with him in this outfit with a blonde wig on, and he led, I followed, and he would twirl me around, and I thought that that was one of the most euphoric feelings I have ever felt, because it was not necessarily submissive, but it was that I was being treated as a woman normally would, and that made me feel really good. Which was wonderful. And then I danced with one of my father-in-law's friends who also thought it was fun to twirl me. And I'm not a great dancer. I'm actually very very trash. I am hot garbage at dancing. But I didn't step on anyone's feet, and I did okay. It took me a minute to figure out the little shimmy thing, but I eventually figured it out. And then I finally felt included when this group of girls that are, I guess, my sister-in-law's friends started asking me to drink, and so I would drink with them, and they all got pretty drunk, and we started doing karaoke. They thought it was pretty funny when I started singing. I sang Hold On by Fivefold, because it's one of my favorite songs, and to see this soft, somewhat like androgynous voice kind of bolster into this masculine like noise was very funny. They thought it was great, and they thought I did wonderful at singing. We did have some of our pictures taken as well, which was pretty good. After the karaoke, I double-checked on my wife to make sure she was okay, and at the end of the night, I made sure everyone got to their cars safely and had a ride home. It was, some people were more drunk than others, but it was still fun, and everyone had a blast. And honestly, I'm excited for the next time. I just hope, one, I sound more feminine, and two, I don't have to change wigs so many times, because my wife brought some hair that she thought would look cute on me, and then whenever I put it on and I went to go check on her, she looked at me and was like, "What are you wearing?" And I was like, this is what you wanted me to wear, sweetie. And so she changed it to a slightly longer wig, and then she's like, "Go get the longest one." And so I went to go get the longest one, and she's like, that's the one. That's the one you need to wear. I was like, okay. She was more concerned with me, but I just wanted to spend time with her. And it was wonderful. Kind of like sitting there and being her like personal Barbie doll. It's a wonderful feeling, because I knew she was having a good time, and I was having a good time, but we were both just happy. I was happy to be with her, and she was having fun, dressing me up, doing hair like she likes to do, and it made me feel really good. Overall, the party was a wonderful experience, and I'm hoping that the next Christmas party I go to is equally wonderful, because one of my former coworkers, she was a manager of mine at the makeup store that I work at. She invited me to a Christmas party, and I'm still getting my outfit together, and I'm excited to debut it, I guess. But that was a good bit of my weekend. It was kind of weird. 5 years of marriage, and so much has already happened. We were a normal couple, so to speak. I was married to a woman as a boy, and came out as transgender, and things did get a little weird. She did get a little distant, and we're still working through that, but we eventually got back to where I think we should be. I didn't get my exception of policy yet. It's still kind of aggravating because we're at almost 8 months. Almost a full year, to be realistic with you, because the first 6 months flew by, and I just don't know if I'm gonna have it. I am still growing out my hair, and it is, I still sleek it back to kind of like make it a little more, noticeable, but there is going to be a point where somebody does ask the question, like, why is your hair that long? And then I will have to get it cut. But for the most part, nobody cares. And I'm pretty thankful for that. I'm hoping my exception of policy comes soon because I'm worried that they're just kind of sitting on it, so that way, whenever the president-elect gets sworn into office, he can say no, and then I am kind of damned to never kind of like follow the female standards I'm supposed to. And that I'm not okay with. But what happens, happens, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to do my best to be happy. Something else we did while we were in Texas is I did get new hair, obviously, because my wife thinks I like to hide behind my bangs. It's easier with the bangs because I don't have to like try and hide like a seam line or anything like that, but I personally just think I look better with bangs. Yeah, we got me like 2 wigs, some wig care stuff, and we got her some makeup and a couple other things, and it was honestly really fun. I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with my wife, but when I do, I just wish I could keep time from traveling as fast as it does, because I know I don't get to spend enough time with her. At least not the amount of time I want to. And I miss being able to spend that time with her. There were moments where I had a normal job. I would go to work, I'd come home every day, and I would see her. We could do something, we could go eat out, we could watch a movie, we could cuddle, we could snuggle, we'd sleep together. Don't take those things for granted, because even though I didn't take them for granted, they're more important to me now than ever, because it sucks to be alone, and it sucks to be away from the person that you love. So whenever I do get to spend time with her, and I do get to snuggle and hold her and love on her, even though those times are few and far in between, they're absolutely wonderful to me. And I do look forward to the day where I do not have to be apart from the woman I love so much. Something really weird is that I have noticed that it feels like the love for her that I have has grown in comparison to what it was for a pre-transition and even like pre our hiatus. I don't expect her to believe me, because I know she's waiting for me to flip the script and be like, I want to be with a boy, I want to have sex all the time with the boy, I want to be the submissive little wife for some boy who I want to clean the house for, do his laundry, and cook dinner every night. Sex isn't as important to me like that. If I have sex, it's going to be wonderful with the person I love. It's not going to be something arbitrary and solely the basis of my relationship. I do like to cook. I don't like to clean, but I do like to cook, and I don't mind doing laundry. And cleaning does suck, but I do it anyway. And I just would like to do those things with her. If I'm going to do something I hate, I might as well do it with someone I love. Everything down in Florida is coming along pretty good. In filming this video, I am not in Florida, to be honest with you. I am actually a state away. And that's why it's so hard to introduce my wife, which I've been wanting to do for weeks, maybe months. I would like to introduce her and let y'all see the wonderful woman that I'm married to and that I talk about so frequently. And if you would like to meet my wife, let me know. I do plan on doing a video anyway, but I would kind of like to gauge how many people kind of even want to even meet her. And if there is anything that you would like to see, please write it in the comments below and I would be happy to oblige. And if you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. Live free, be happy, and be bold. This is Brianna Sinclair, signing off.